I'm here with Dr. Nimesh Desai of the Institute for Human Behavior and Allied Sciences, where Devender Pal Singh Bhullar was being treated for more than 2 years. Dr. Desai, thank you for speaking with us. And you have made it clear that you feel the Supreme Court should have asked you and your team for a medical opinion on his condition.
It won't be for me to comment on should or ought about the apex court or any court of law for sure. But generally, yes, it would have been a good judicial practice and humanistic practice to get a medical opinion when there is a medical or a psychiatric illness. And so, yes, it's been a little surprising that there has been no opinion asked or a medical board sought for. Correspondence between our hospital and the Tihar jail authorities, I am told now, was cited in the court proceedings. So that's the prerogative of the court, but I certainly would have preferred a more formal opinion.
Right, and I do want to ask you why it's important in his case. What is his medical condition exactly and mental health issues here?
His condition is what we have always maintained is depression with psychotic features. So simple depression is merely a question of psychologically feeling low and everything else that goes with it. Sometimes depression goes with psychotic features like hallucinations and delusions where a person is not in contact with the external reality.
The Delhi government has right now constituted a board. It's asked for a medical board to be constituted to look into Devender Pal Singh Bhullar's mental health. Is your team part of that? Have you been asked to be part of that?
We indeed got a copy of that order, a letter from the prisons to the Home Department asking the Health Department to set up a board. And so, as per my conviction and our collective belief at the hospital, we took the initiative to write to the Health Department, our authorities, and say there could be any option that you exercise and we'll follow. But in my own preference, since we already expressed our opinion, in transparency and public interest, it's only fair that IBAS not be involved in the medical board. Let it be an independent external board. What one is looking for here is not one opinion or one agenda point. What one is looking for is a due process being followed, law, humanistic principles and judicial, both in a given case and as a process to be set up.
Okay. And I do want to ask you finally, we've heard a lot about his mental health. Apparently he did try to commit suicide or he had suicidal impulses. In light of that and the fact that I want to know if you think that it would be a travesty of justice if that was not taken into account at this case. And also, what is his condition right now?
You see, what has happened is that in last 2 years, because the depression has been somewhat treated with medicines, he improves, he kind of takes care of daily activities to an extent under push. It's very variable. But as and when the news of the legal developments creep in, his getting into his fantasy world only becomes more acute. Now, that variability is a little difficult to deal with in terms of that interface between mental health principles and judicial application. Again, I would prefer not to comment on a given case since it's already been discussed so much and since I'm one of the treating doctor parties. But yes, internationally, I think there's been very good experience and documentation, especially in the US of A and Europe, US of A particularly, that people on death row, when they have a serious or a moderate mental health problem, the entire situation of what should take precedence, the humanistic principle for mental health or the judicial execution, is an extremely vexed one. I don't think there can be one opinion about that. It will always be debatable. And each case will have to be judged on its own.